Still got her arm off? No.
Hello and welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. I'm a licensed cognitive behavior therapist and a licensed mental health counselor. I'd like to start by wishing everyone a happy Thanksgiving. I hope you all enjoyed your Thanksgiving break. And I'd like to start by thanking my subscribers, my viewers, for all the kind, mindfulness, professional comments you leave behind in the channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. This is for entertainment purpose only. This is the last day Summer Moon Yuta Wells was recorded, allegedly, according to her mother Candice Bly Wells and her grandmother Candy Hera, aka Grandis. Summer Wells was a 5-year-old girl who was reported missing in the state of Tennessee, Hawkins County, Rogersville, on the 15th of June 2021. It started off by, there was a 911 call by Candice, Summer Wells' mother. Candice called law enforcement and she said that she couldn't find her daughter, Summer Wells. Summer was 5 years old. Summer lived with her 3 brothers, her mother, her father, Donna Wells, and the grandmother, Candy Hera, lived in a trailer not far away from the Wells' property. This is a heartbreaking case that most of us have been following for a very long time. As soon as the report was made to 911, Sheriff Ronnie Lawson and law enforcement in Rogersville went up to the property where Summer Wells, her brothers, her mother and her father live. This was at 6:30 in the evening. Candice Wells told law enforcement that the last time she saw Summer Wells was that Summer was down in the basement playing with the toys in the basement. Candice said that the brothers, Summer's brothers, were up on the upper floor. They were sitting and playing games and watching YouTube. I believe PlayStation games. The first day, on the 15th of June, when Summer was reported, allegedly the timeline was that Candice Wells said that her mother, Candice Hera, had a knee inflammation and that the mother needed to see the emergency room, the ER. So Candice drove her mother to the emergency room at 8 a.m. in the morning. Candice said that her 3 boys were at home and she took with her Summer Wells. It was a hot, humid summer day in Tennessee. So she said, when I took my mother, I dropped her off at the ER. The mother had on a knee bracelet and she had swelling and inflammation in her knee. The mother, Candice, said she dropped her mother to the ER, and around 10 a.m. in the morning, Candice called Hunter, that's a 15-year-old boy. His mother, Allison, is friends with Candice. So she called Hunter, but allegedly Hunter says that he called Candice because he was bored. So we are still not sure about who called who. But Summer, his mother Candice, said that she told Hunter, the 15-year-old boy, that if he wanted to tag along with them, if he wanted to go along with them, that he needed to ask permission from his mother. He asked permission from his mother, Allison, who was allegedly asleep. She said that she could go along. So Candice Bly Wells, that is Summer's mother, took Summer with her while the mother was in the emergency room. She picked up Hunter and they picked up Summer's grandmother, that's Candice's mother, from the emergency room, and they went and put in a prescription from the doctor for the knee inflammation, definitely painkillers, most likely. They dropped it off at the drive-by, and since they had to wait 38 minutes, I believe, for the medication to be ready, Candice decided that she would take Summer for a swim. There's the horse pond around those areas that is not far from where they dropped off the Walmart, I believe, that they dropped off the prescription at. So Summer's mother, Candice Bly Wells, allegedly Summer's grandmother, Candy Herrer, and Hunter went to the horse pond. There's a small side of the pond that people usually do not swim at, which is quiet. So they went to the swimming hole. That's what they usually call it. Allegedly, it came on later on that Hunter had a Twisted Tea, that is an alcohol beverage, and he's 15 years old. He has a mental health illness called impulsive ADHD. This boy shouldn't have been drinking, but allegedly the adults, like Candice Bly Wells, bought him alcohol. We have seen the pictures of Summer swimming in the swimming pond. She had on a small blouse, or a small t-shirt, and she had on a small short, so she was swimming in the pond. We saw that Summer, the description of her hair was very short, almost bald like a boy. And we saw that Hunter was splashing water on Summer. Candice said that she told Hunter not to splash water on Summer because she doesn't like that, and allegedly he stopped. The reason I keep on saying allegedly is because nothing over here is honestly complete facts. The timetable has been changed plenty of times, and we've heard different versions of what happened that day from Hunter, the 15-year-old boy, and from Candice, that is Summer Wells' mother. Candice said that she dropped off. They took a couple of stops. They went and brought some slush, which is a hot summer day, and they bought water for the mother, and Twisted Tea, obviously, for what's his name, Hunter, the 15-year-old boy, and they bought a couple of different vapes for Candice. And Hunter said himself to Chris McDonough in the interview room, he said that that she bought him a vape, I believe blue or purple. So we can imagine, we heard vape here, there's the Twisted Tea, there was many cans of Twisted Tea that was seen around the swimming hole, although Candice told Chris McDonough from the interview room that there was a lot of rubbish and a lot of cans already there. We don't know what to believe because the timelines have changed a lot, and none of them have been genuine. When I've done all my research and when I compare their interviews, you can see a lot of things being added on or a lot of things being taken off from what they previously said. They said that Candice said that she dropped Hunter off at around 2:30. That's what Hunter said himself. And we heard Allison saying that she came to the car and she wanted to say hello to Summer, who was sleeping in the back, and Summer was kneeling on, I believe, 2 or 3 big carton bottles of milk, cold milk. Allison said that she found that very strange, and she said she wanted to open the door and give Summer a hug, but she said that the mother, Candice, said that she's sleeping, not to disturb her. We've heard Candice Bly saying that Allison is lying, that Allison was sleeping when they came to drop over Hunter. There was a lot of different versions of what exactly happened, but when she dropped off Hunter at 2:30, Candice said that she went directly home. She drove home. She said that Summer woke up, she jumped off from the car and she ran into the house. And then after a while, Candice said that she was planting cactus with her mother, and she told the mother that I know somebody who would love to help us. So she called Summer, and Summer helped to plant the cactus. That was the version we got from them. After they planted the cactus, Candice said that her mother, that Summer's grandmother, went into the trailer with Summer and she gave her a peppermint candy, and then Summer asked her mother if she could go inside the house to play with her brothers. The mother said that she followed Summer to the house, which I don't believe that to be true, because there's another interview with Chris McDonough and Candice near the swimming hole. She says clearly that Summer would never leave the yard, that Summer would run from a swing to Candice's house, to the trailer, to her grandmother's trailer, and back to the house. So it didn't seem like any reason for her to follow a child from just a trailer, which is a couple of footsteps, to the house. Candice said that she followed Summer to the house from the trailer, outside the trailer where they were planting flowers, and Summer went downstairs to play with the boys. Candice said that she told her sons to look after their sister, that she would be back. Summer allegedly went down to the basement to play with her toys, and Candice said that she came back in 5 minutes. We've heard different versions of that one too. Sometimes it's 15 minutes, sometimes it's 20 minutes, sometimes it's 5 minutes, and we've heard her even saying 2 minutes. So when there's so much description, when there's so much change of stories, you can see at once that there's a red flag, there's something not right, that there's something that happened between there. I personally believe that Summer did not make it home, but everyone has different thoughts and ideas. But this is just my speculation, that because I could see there was a lot of shifting the stories and the timings. So Summer went allegedly down in the basement to play with her toys, and Candice told her sons to look after their sister, that she would be back. And Candice said that she came back within a couple of minutes. She asked the boys, where's your sister at? They said, Mom, she's gone downstairs to play with the toys. Candice said that she called Summer a couple of times without any answer. She said Summer would usually answer back. So she said, I went downstairs to check. I checked everywhere and Summer was gone. The TBI, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, came in the scene around the 16th, that is the next day, because the day that Summer went missing, 6:30 in the evening, Sheriff Ronnie Lawson and law enforcement in Hawkins County closed up the area. They tried to search for Summer with helicopters. They made a wide search and Summer couldn't be found. The next day, after they took all the interviews, the next day, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, that's the TBI, came into the picture. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation works with cases like foul play, human trafficking, gang-related organizations, criminal organizations, and such things. As soon as the TBI came into the picture, they upgraded the endangerment alert that Hawkins County put out that day on the 15th of June. On the 16th, the TBI made it to Amber Alert. Amber Alert is the highest alert you can put out there. That is when somebody's life is in extreme danger. I'm sure this is my speculations, after the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation came into the picture and they saw that the stories didn't make sense, they raised it to an Amber Alert because they knew that something is not right and Summer's life could be in immediate danger. So they acted upon it and put out an Amber Alert. It's been almost 2 years. The Amber Alert is still issued for Summer Wells. And I'm happy for that. They did not put down the Amber Alert just in case anyone comes out with information that Summer Wells could have been seen. The clip that I just played, we heard clearly Summer was kneeling towards the cold milk cartons on a summer day. It did not make sense. The windows were locked. Summer had on a lot of clothes. They seemed to be more like clothes made of fleece. They were more for a warmer. The clothes was more for a colder weather, for winter weather. Allegedly, that was the uniform that Summer's new uniform that she was going to use for her school. Her first school year, she was going to start that 10 days before Summer went missing. Candace Bly said that she went around the neighborhood searching for Summer for 20 minutes. She said that the first thing she did is she called Dawn Wells. She told Dawn, who was at work, I can't find Summer, and Dawn told her to hang the phone and call law enforcement. We've heard different stories, especially from Dawn himself, where he was that day. It was said he was at work, but then we've heard from Hunter that while Candace was driving and while they were in the car, the boys, Dawn Wells called and he was at home, and he said there was this guy, this drunk guy, a guy was drunk, an old man called Billy, and when Chris asked Dawn, Candace, who's Billy, she said he was a drunk that he used to just come around and crash there, I believe. But Dawn said that Billy was trying to touch on the children. So we don't know up to today if Dawn was at work or if he was at home. He says he was at work, but Dawn is a self-employed person who works with drywall or something like that, drywalling, and basically what it is that Dawn could have been at work, he could have maybe not been at work. He said he was working in Rogersville, so he allegedly called law enforcement from Rogersville when Summer was missing, and I believe that he did that as a part of his alibi, so that later on that law enforcement would have evidence that Dawn called from Rogersville and Candice called from home. I personally believe Dawn was at work, but he wasn't at work the whole day. He was just there when he made the call, so he must have just gone in for one or two jobs. What I found to be strange, besides what Alison has told us, that Candice did not look very worried. She was playing with the cap, putting it on her head and all. She did not look worried when Summer was missing. But I'm not going to take too much of what Alison says or Leslie says, that's Alison's friend, or what Candice says, because I'll be honest, to me they all seem to be lying some way or the other. But what I can see with my own eyes and what we all have witnessed, that I can point out that are red flags for me today, I pointed out, is that to start with, when Summer Wells went missing, Candice Bly did not do an interview. She was hiding herself from WAJL because her name was Ensley Daniels, said that she was trying to get contact with Candice to get an interview, but Candice wasn't ready and she wasn't answering her back. Candice decided to do the interview with WHJLR's channel. She did it, I believe, she did it on the 29th of June. Now picture when you have your child, your youngest baby, your child that you love, missing, you should be the one contacting the press. You should be the one crying out for help, knocking on neighbors' doors, asking the public for help. If you have nothing to hide, a good example that I can give is Brandy Nee, Michael Wonga's mother. She has never stopped searching for her son Michael. She has taken all kind of bullying from the web sleuths. She's been taking all kind of nonsense from people accusing her husband, but she has never given up hope. She's always stood strong. She works for her family. She sleeps on the sofa, like she said, just in case Michael knocks the door. That is what a mother should be doing when their child is missing and they really want to get their child home. Another good example that I always give is the most famous missing case in the world. That was Madeleine McCann, the girl from UK who went with her parents, who are both doctors and surgeons. Her father is a heart surgeon. Her mother is a general practitioner. When Madeleine was taken on a holiday with her two little twin sister and brother, who were 1 year old. Madeleine was 3.5 years old, almost 4 years old. They all went to Algarve, Portugal, and while the parents and the other doctors that they came with, there were like 9 or 8 doctors. Many of them were couples, all were doctors. They were sitting in the Tampa Bay restaurant that is not far from the house, and little Madeleine, they were taking turns on going and checking all the children. They went and checked on Madeleine and her little brothers who were sleeping around 9 o'clock. And then when they went at 10 o'clock, when Kate went to check on the children, Madeleine was gone. It was one of the most famous cases. I'm sure you'll have heard of that. If you haven't heard, check on it, because it was a really sad case. That case took 16 years to finally get it solved. The person who took Madeleine is a German guy who was in Portugal. He's a SEX offender, a pedophile that was very known, registered in Germany, and while he was in jail, he confessed to one of his roommates that he unfortunately, heartbreakingly enough, took Madeline. So that case went on for 16 years, and every day people in the UK, Europe, USA, everywhere, Canada, it was a kind of 50-50. There were many people that believe that the McCranes must have given their children sleeping mixture or some sleeping drug, and that Madeline unfortunately overdosed and died of it. And they believed that the parents was behind it and that they were covering it up together. But honestly, I always knew that the only wrong thing that the parents did here was they were really well educated heart surgeons and doctors, both the parents. I believe what they did that made them kind of people who were attacking them was they left their children unattended to. And it wasn't only them, it was the other doctors with them too. But it was just heartbreaking that Madeline was the one taken. And it took 16 years to finally solve this case. It was an international case with the Portugal media and the Portugal government involved, and the UK, Scotland government involved, and there was a lot of blame, pointing fingers and blaming each other for a very long time. But this case was mostly about child negligence, that they let these 3 little children sleep by themselves while they were busy sitting and drinking alcohol and enjoying themselves, chilling outside, while somebody managed to abduct little Madeline. She was a beautiful little girl. And what I'm trying to get with this story is that what happened to Madeline, no matter that the parents unfortunately shouldn't have left their children alone, no matter what happened, Kate and her husband, Jack, I believe, or Jake McCain, always stood together as a couple. They always held hands. They never hid away from the media. They gave all kind of interviews. The stories always seemed to be the same. They cried. They held hands. They were always out in the press, and that shows that at least they were putting out flyers for the little daughter. They never stopped searching for Madeleine McCann. The mother, Kate, wrote a very famous book that she got, I think, 15 million out of that book. Turned out to be one of a bestseller a couple of years ago. They took all that money, they donated it to find Madeline and find other missing children. So what I'm trying to say is when somebody is not involved in their child's abduction, then they would stand out and come out no matter if the finger pointing was on them. If the blame was on them or not, they stood there. This is what I noticed as a big red flag for the Wells. The Wells took time to give an interview, especially Candice Bly. Don Wells came out the first day with his son, the oldest son, and the oldest son looked very traumatized at the way, Don was holding him in the arm, like he had his arm around his son's shoulder. But you could see literally, if you watch the behavior that's going on there, it looked like the children were very traumatized from the start. The other thing that we know is that we've heard from so many people who know the Wells, and many people actually, from Allison to Allison's mother, grandmother. We have Jose, may God rest his soul. We have, may rest in peace, we have many other people in Tennessee saying that the Wells had a lot of child neglection, child abuse going on with their children. Even not law enforcement, the CPS was on their case. So Summer Wells and her brothers were supposed to be taken by the CPS. Allegedly, they're coming back to get them, and then all of a sudden, strangely, Summer's gone. So I personally believe that they know exactly what happened to Summer. The question is, was it an accident? Was this foul play? Did Summer maybe hit her head because she had a bump on her head? If you look at the picture in the car when she's kneeling on the milk cartons, then I'm not accusing anyone, but when you look at the facts, you have, as a mental health counselor, I don't find it right for a 15-year-old boy with impulsive ADHD who's already hyperactive, who does not have who has lack of concentration, he can't focus on anything, shouldn't have been getting alcohol. That is wrong for Hunter himself as a kid. His rights has been abused by Allison letting him go with Candice when she knew what Candice was about. We've heard allegedly many things, God rest his soul, up from Jose when he lived in that house. He said that Candice was allegedly having some kind of intimacy or whatsoever, trigger warning, with Hunter. So we have heard many different stories and we have seen many pictures of this woman, Candice, with boys who are extremely young, like 15, 16, 17 years old. She seems to be taking advantage and buying them alcohol and cigarettes and such things. So I wonder, when in the timeline, allegedly, Hunter said he was left in the car with Summer while the grandmother and the mother went in to do some shopping. He said that they were away for almost an hour. It was a hot, humid day, so you can picture Summer. He couldn't even remember when he was asked, what were you watching in the car? He said, I believe YouTube stream, and I couldn't remember what Summer was watching. But the mother told Chris, and y'all can hear that in that interview, she said that they were watching something on TikTok. So you see, the lies are really clear to see that this story has no limits when it comes to people being dishonest and not being genuine. Something has happened to Summer, but the question is, there's so many different things that we can think about. Was Summer sold in a human trafficking trade or something? Because allegedly Tennessee has a lot of human trafficking cases. Could Summer have overdosed? Because we've heard from a neighbor, and that is an important person in the scene too, Jody Sue Brown, who is a YouTube creator herself, was the neighbor of Candice and Don Wells. And a couple of months ago, she said that her boyfriend, the father of her children, Andrew Bernard, was selling drugs to Candice and Don, and they were sedating the children with them. She believes that Summer could have overdosed. Then we have Jody Sue Brown was the person who told the news that around 4:30 in the evening she heard a loud scream, like a scream that wasn't like, that sounded more like an animal scream, but it wasn't an animal scream, animaltic scream or something like that, she called it. And then that was at 4:32. She said that she didn't think much about it, and she and her son and her daughter heard that. If you hear a scream like that, and if you hear doors slamming, like she said, near the Wells property, and a car coming down, wouldn't you try and contact your neighbors? Wouldn't you contact law enforcement if you think that you heard something out of the ordinary? So something doesn't make sense. And another thing is, what's his name? Sheriff Ronnie Lawson doesn't believe that Jody Sue's statement has anything to do with Summer's abduction or disappearance. Jodie Sue Brown, I'm not going to put any blame on her, but her story, she's another person who's never been genuine. And since she said it from her own mouth, that Jodie Sue Brown herself said it from her own mouth that Andy Bernard sold the Wells drugs, that they were sedating the children. That shows that she knows something that we are not aware about. So I don't like the fact when people turn around and say, don't attack Jodie Sue and all that. Nobody's attacking Jodie Sue. I am just telling the facts, so be it. I don't care who likes it or who doesn't like it, because that is what came out from Jodie Sue's mouth. So if anyone's going to tell me that, you'll need to be speaking to Jodie Sue Brown and asking her to own up and tell the truth. We are adults here. These people, even Allison, her timeline has been changing. There's some lies with her story too. There's a lot of lies with Hunter himself. In Chris McDonough's interview at 1 hour and 35 minutes, you can clearly hear Chris asking Allison, no, he was asking Hunter, where were you when Candace called you to tell you that Summer was gone? And he looked at his mother, and then his mother is coaching him clearly. She turns around and she says, Tapak. She says Tapak twice. We ain't a fool, we can clearly see that, and you can rewind that back and listen to it. So I don't understand why this case is not progressing. I don't understand why all these people have been left to go loose. Today I'm addressing this to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. We have been patient. We have been more than patient. We have been waiting for justice for baby Summer. That girl deserves a justice. All the other cases have been speeding up and been getting some kind of attention and has come to some kind of conclusion. We always believed, and we still believe, that Summer will tell her justice, but unless a big noise is made, I don't think Tennessee is going to get up and do something about Summer Wells' case. Summer deserves her justice. Summer's a 5-year-old girl. If her parents neglected her, if her parents treated her in this manner, put her in a risk zone, they should go down for child endangerment, child abuse, child neglection. There's so many things that is not right with the story. And all we've been told by the TBI and by Sheriff Ronnie Lawson is you'll have to just wait and we are doing our jobs. Nothing has been done because someone would have been arrested by now. Don Wells has gone into jail, the father, for DUI, drinking under the influence. Maybe that is what they're putting him in so that they could get more cooperation from him or from one of them, or maybe so that they try and figure out this case. But this has gone for 1.5 years. It's going to be 2 years in a couple of months. Summer Wells deserves her justice. Orrin and Orson West, we fought for them. Thank God, Bakersfield law enforcement, California City law enforcement did a beautiful job with that. And Trezell and Jacqueline, the monsters are where they belong. Until this case goes to the grand jury, at least they're off the streets. We've recently seen, and I put that up, Candace was seen by YouTube creator Jonathan Lee, and he put up that picture and I spoke about it. You see Candace in a church festival or something with clothes that look like they're too oversized for her. She's grown her hair. It looks all rough and it's all orange, strawberry, red. I personally believe she's doing that so that she can hide her image in case people recognize her. She doesn't believe that she owes anyone an explanation for Summer. She doesn't believe that justice is not supposed to come for Summer. In fact, she's been let go, and we have a dangerous criminal who put her child in danger, and we don't know what she has done. TBI and law enforcement should be handling this case, because the least you can charge, what's her name, Candice, with is that Candice did not report Summer missing at the right time, I believe. Candice knows exactly what happened to Summer. She doesn't want to tell. Obviously, nobody wants to go to jail. But it's the, what's it called, Sheriff Ronnie Lawson, the TBI, the District Attorney Armstrong, all of y'all need to be bringing some charges. This woman is being feeding a 15-year-old boy at that time who has mental health issues like impulsive ADHD. She's been feeding him with alcohol. She's been doing that to other young boys. I don't understand why charges are not coming. All y'all did was to put a gag order on the boys' case. We are satisfied that the boys have a better life, and hopefully they're with better parents and better foster parents. But this little baby girl who was used, abused, neglected, abused in each and everywhere that we can see through her pictures, all the black eyes she had. Summer had bumps on her forehead. When I look at Summer's picture, it looks like she's crying to us, save me, get me my justice. And I believe that Tennessee, we've given you a long time. If I didn't live in the UK, I'm not like Bullhorn Betty and these people who would go make a scene, but I would have tried and done more to get justice for Summer. I think it's about time. We deserve that justice for Summer. TBI and Sheriff Ron is just telling us to be patient. This is past patience. Baby girl needs her justice. Summer needs her justice. She doesn't need it tomorrow or day after or in 6 months. She needs it yesterday. She should have got it day before yesterday. She should have got it a year ago. Candice Bly shouldn't be roaming around in the streets up to no good. This is my personal opinion, and I'm going to keep on making clips, and I advise other YouTubers to do that. Let's not forget Summer Wells' name. Summer Wells needs to be the face of all missing children. That little girl had nobody. She didn't have a grandmother who's fighting for her, who's putting up flyers for her. She didn't have a mother who's putting up flyers for her or putting up anything for her. She doesn't have a father who cares, because when he was out of jail, before he went into jail, he and Candice was busy getting drunk, coming on YouTube, making a show. Candice was even crying for Jenna that she met on YouTube. So anyway, guys, please like, share, and subscribe. I'll be back with my next clip soon. Remember, justice for Summer. Thank you. Bye.